Welcome back to the Davy Brown 990 restoration. For those of you new, my name's Barry. First nighttime video in my garage. Now we've got loads of space now because for the last 2 days we've absolutely blitzed this and next door, cleaned it out hopefully a bit. We got the tractor out the other day, tidied up a lot, got the lights up in the ceiling, got them all wired in, got the batteries underneath the shelves, solar panels up, the lot. It's amazing how much space you can create when you do that. Anyway, back to the little job in hand. This is a job that we've been sort of putting off for a while, and I was really at that point where I was about to throw this into scrap because I thought, no point of it, is there? You're just taking up floor space. Can't put that on a shelf, it's too heavy. Taking up floor space in my garages, and I thought, you know what, it's just... But then I thought to myself, if we repair this, we might be able to sell it on, put the money, hopefully save up towards some tyres for that tractor next door. Eh? Now, if you pop back to this video up here, when we took all this to bits originally, when we took the gearbox out of the tractor, we took the diff out of the gearbox. You remember all the bolts in this flange were all stretched, weren't they? They were all stretched, the dowels were missing, this was loose. I cannot remember if we had locking tabs on or not. Pop back and have a look. However, we did take it to bits then, and if you remember, the shaft that goes through the middle of this to hold the bevel gears in place was really badly worn, and this diff does not have the bushes in the bevel gears. The later diffs do. The later diffs were drilled out or bored out, and they had brass or bronze bushes inside the bevel, in the bevel gears. Yeah, the bevel gears. This one doesn't. The original shaft, and we've got here a replacement, 1-inch steel. We need to drill a couple of holes in, which is what we're going to be doing soon. So what we're going to do, we're going to take this to bits. We're going to have a look at the parts inside and see what they're like. If there's no damage to the bevel gears and the pinion gears, we'll make a replacement shaft. I have already got 1-inch 3/8 grade 5 bolts for this, and I have got 3 new 1-inch 3/8 dowels for it as well. So we'll pop it all back together. It's going to get a damn good clean, a good bath. So let's open it up, let's have a look inside. Oh, yeah, tinker. God, it's heavy, it really is heavy. Okay, so let's start. Well, as I say, I've took the bolt, I had it all bolted up just to keep it together, stop bits getting lost. Took the bolts out, let's take the cover plate off. Take out the first pinion, this is the right hand pinion side. As you can see, they are in really good condition, no wear at all on them. I just want a good bath. There's oil holes through the pinion gear, which brings the oil through into the scroll at the back, and because of its elliptical shape, it throws the oil out onto the surface, onto this surface, and there's a groove there for a cushion of oil to sit in, so that when those two go together, it'll run on a cushion of oil as opposed to metal to metal. I'll leave that one in there. So I'm going to try and put these back in the same side, same positions that they come out of. I don't think it's really going to matter, but I like to do that. First bevel gear, again, oil hole through the centre to lubricate the shaft. This will run probably half deep in oil anyway when it's sitting in the gearbox. But again, as I say, you can see there is no bushes inside the bores. They just run straight on the shaft. There's a little bit of play there, not a lot. Bevel gear 2. Again, 3 holes. Has that one got 3 holes? One, yes it has, 3 holes. There's a bit of play on there, not a lot. Now, let's see if we can get this one out. This is the left hand pinion gear. You can see that's still got quite a bit of oil sitting on it. Nah, no problems with that whatsoever. Bit dirty inside. Let's have a look down in there, see what sort of mess we've got here. As you can see, trying to keep rid of my own shadows here. It is a bit grubby. Everything will get a good bath. This is going to get wire wheeled. So look at the teeth. Little bits of surface rust, but that's it. That's the one bit. We'll pop the bearings off here, that side, or the left hand side, when we took this out of the gearbox. In fact, I didn't think we had to take it off. I think it more or less fell off. Oh no, that race is still a good fit. That would go on nicely. This race, as you can see, we have put a bit of heat into it. Let's get that turned back over. Because that one's off that side. And we have put a bit of heat into it. It was so tight up against the bottom face, you couldn't get a bearing puller in or a knife in. So we had to heat it up, drift on the side on this edge, get it to start coming forward, and then just ease it forward. And it did take a good hour to get that off because it was tight. We had to keep heating it up. And it was at that point we noticed a tiny little hair crack there. Let's have my glasses on a minute. Yes, you can see it on the face there, tiny little hair crack. So we're going to gouge that out, we're going to weld it up, dress it off, so we can get that outer race, when heated, to go back on. It came off no problem, that's not causing an issue. You can feel it with your, there, you can feel it with your fingernail. So I'm just going to gouge that a little bit with a cutting disc, weld it up, dress it down so that it's smooth again, serviceable. Right, now, the 1-inch shaft that came out of the original diff only had 2 split pins through, one either end. Right, the later versions had an undercut and just a circlip on. There is no linear pressure on this. It's simply, that's a good fit in there, really good fit. It simply sits in there to rotate the bevel gears on, that's all. So, first things first, let's tell you what we're going to do. We'll drill a hole through this end first, pop it in there, get the length of it, then sort it out, drill the other end, pop that together. Okay, let's get set up in my vise so we can get this sorted out. First thing I want to do, I want to file a little flat on here. I'm going to put a centre pop in, and I'm going to drill a hole for the split pin. Right, got our split pins, 3/16, bit on the long side, what the hell, we'll cut them. We're going to file a flat on here, drill a 3/16 hole through, actually through the bar, pop our pin in, slide it into housing, get my lengths. The reason I'm putting a flat on here so I can centre pop it is to stop the drill wandering when we come to start and drill it. Tell you what, that ruler's some age. I've had that since 1975 when I started my apprenticeship. Let's have a look. 3/16, so we're going to come back 5/16. Put a line on there. Just check and see if that has safety edge on. There we go. That's enough. You don't need a lot, just a little bit. Just a tiny bit, as I said. Take our centre punch. Just a little one to start with there. Take it out of there. Put it in the back of the vise. Right, let's get us set up my drill, get this drill through, then we'll get tidied up a bit. Right, back in a minute. Quick deburr. Whoa. That's a beautiful fit, that. Beautiful. Okay. Right, so we've got our first hole in. I was busy putting fresh gloves on. Let's have a look. Let's turn this upside down. Need that to go through there, like that. I'll have to reduce the size of that, I think, slightly. Okay. So I have marked on there, well, length from end to end. Right, there to there. We need now to drill a hole 30 seconds centre this way, which will give us 3/16 on the money in there. So let's get this set up, and then once we've got the 2 holes in, I will shorten the shaft and get it sorted out in there, but I'll not do that on camera because it's going to take a bit of fettling. So, glasses. Trusty rule. Put this at 90 degrees to that one, will we? Will we? No, we'll not. We'll put it at the same angle. Right. Let's have a little flat on there. There's one line. .332. Put a little one in. Yeah, looking good. Right. Pop that pin out of there. We'll give it a quick wallop here. Set it back up in my vise. I'll go for the middle this time, I think, yeah? Highly precision, isn't it? High precision here. You could go to the troubles of marking all this out in a V block and... Oh, couldn't you? Okay. Right, we're going to drill hole number 2. Back in a minute. Right, hole number 2 in. Okay, what we're going to do now is I will shorten these so they are a little bit tidier, and we'll dress them up, and I'll come back to you because it's not going to be very entertaining watching me hacksaw this off and then dressing them up. So we'll come back to you when I've got this one dressed up. All right. That's it. Trimmed down to length. Obviously holes in, everything's sorted out now. we're going to call it there for tonight, end of part 1. Part 2 will be a couple of days time, and it will be doing the repair on the diff lock collar, giving that a bit of a grind open there, doing a bit of welding on it and dressing it back up to shape and size. It'll also include the rebuild of that and get it all put back together with new bolts, new dowels, new tab washers. New tab washers off eBay. Postage is more expensive than 4 tab washers. Never mind, we got them. Draw bits and pieces. Hopefully next couple of days we'll get this put back together. Part 2 will be complete, we'll get it out to you. But remember, don't overthink it, it's only nuts and bolts. And we'll catch you in part 2. See you soon, ta-ra now.